Blue Book Gentlemen Chronicles, Podcast, Episode 2, French Culture, Exploring Literature and Art, Part 2. Now, we shift our gaze towards the more familiar literary masters who captured the essence of the French spirit through their works and lives. We meet Molière, the master of comedy and satire. Molière, 1622–1673. Known as the father of French comedy, Molière's sharp wit skewered societal norms and human folly. His plays like Tartuffe and The Misanthrope still resonate with their clever commentary on hypocrisy and pretension. Fun fact, Molière was also an actor and often performed in his own plays, despite facing controversy and censorship. In one of his famous works, Le Bourgeois Gentilhomme, Molière's satirical wit shines through, in which he creates a comedy ballet which ridicules social climbing in 17th-century French society, where the highly pretentious Monsieur Jourdain, a rich bourgeois, heavily idealizes French nobility and tries to become socially recognized as a nobleman. He makes a fool of himself as he wears overly extravagant clothes and develops frivolous relations with nobles who take pleasure in his idiocy and exploit him for his money. Molière critiques both the bourgeois as well as the nobility, where both are subject to corruption and driven by superficial desire. Moreover, Monsieur Jourdain is never able to socially establish himself as an aristocrat, yet he succeeds within his own fantasies. By critiquing these social classes and emphasizing the paradox of Monsieur Jourdain's failing and succeeding to become nobility, Molière ultimately challenges the worth of the classist foundations of French society. Next, we look at Jean-Jacques Rousseau, 1712 to 1778. Rousseau, the philosopher and novelist, is known for The Social Contract and Emile, or On Education. Believe it or not, feminism and all liberal social movements over the past 200 years are heir to Rousseau's Social Contract in 1762, which begins, "Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains." With this historic phrase, Rousseau pit benign romantic nature against corrupt society. Rousseau produced the progressivist strain in 19th-century culture, for which social reform was the theoretical means to achieve paradise on earth. His progressive ideas on liberty and education influenced the French Revolution and the development of modern democracy within many Western societies. Voltaire, 1694 to 1778. Voltaire's biting wit and fearless critiques of authority made him a legendary figure. His novella Candide is a satire on optimism and a sharp critique of society. Despite spending time in exile and imprisonment, Voltaire's voice remained a beacon of reason and enlightenment. Honoré de Balzac, 1799 to 1850. Balzac's La Comédie Humaine is a monumental series of interconnected novels depicting 19th-century French society. His detailed characters and settings laid the groundwork for realism in literature. Some of his more famous and celebrated works are Père Goriot, The Black Sheep, and Cousin Bette. Gustave Flaubert, 1821 to 1880. Known for his meticulous prose, Flaubert's Madame Bovary explores the tragic life of a dissatisfied woman in provincial France. This novel revolutionized modern fiction with its psychological depth and realism. Long established as one of the greatest novels, the book has been described as a perfect work of fiction. Henry James wrote, "Madame Bovary has a perfection that not only stamps it, but that makes it stand almost alone. It holds itself with such a supreme, unapproachable assurance as both excites and defies judgment." The book was so controversial upon its release. Its scandalous subject matter led to an obscenity trial in 1857. Marcel Proust, 1871 to 1922. Proust's In Search of Lost Time is a monumental meditation on memory, time, and love. Written over decades, this masterpiece is considered one of the greatest achievements in literature. Albert Camus, 1913 to 1960. A Nobel Prize winner, Camus explored existentialism and the absurd in works like The Stranger and The Myth of Sisyphus. His philosophical insights continue to inspire discussions on life's meaning. From the stage and page, we now step into the vibrant world of French art. Let's meet the painters whose works have graced galleries and captivated imaginations. Pierre-Auguste Renoir, 1841 to 1919. A leading figure in the Impressionist movement, Renoir's paintings, like Danse at le Moulin de la Galette, celebrate the joy of life with vibrant colors and light-filled scenes. As a celebrator of beauty and especially feminine sensuality, it has been said that Renoir is the final representative of a tradition which runs directly from Rubens to Watteau.